Ever wondered how many soldiers it took to build an empire that lasted 1,000 years? It wasn't just about numbers. It was about discipline, engineering, and an unshakable belief in Roman glory. We're talking about the Roman war machine, a force that conquered lands from the misty shores of Britain to the sun-scorched deserts of Egypt. So, grab your virtual scutum, because today, we're remarching back in time to uncover the sheer scale and power of the Roman legions. Let's start with the basics. A standard Roman legion during the late Republic and early Empire had about 4,800 heavy infantrymen. These were the legionaries, the backbone of Rome's military might. Each legion was then divided into 10 cohorts, and each cohort's into 6 centuries of about 80 men. But that's not all. Attached to each legion were around 120 cavalrymen, known as equites, for scouting and flanking maneuvers. And don't forget the auxiliaries. These were non-citizen soldiers, often recruited from conquered provinces, who provided specialized skills like archery, slinging, and light cavalry. In major campaigns, the number of auxiliaries could equal or even exceed the number of legionaries. So, when a Roman general went to war, he wasn't just leading a few thousand men. He was commanding a combat arms force that could number in the tens of thousands. Take Julius Caesar's conquest of Gaul, for instance. At the decisive Battle of Alesia, Caesar commanded an army of around 10 to 12 legions, plus auxiliaries. That's roughly 50,000 to 60,000 Roman soldiers, facing a massive Gallic coalition. And he didn't just fight them. He built a fortress around their fortress. Caesar constructed an 11-mile wall around the Gallic stronghold of Alesia, and then another 14-mile wall facing outwards to protect his own men from a relief army. This monumental feat of engineering, accomplished by his soldiers in just a few weeks, shows that a Roman soldier was as much an engineer as a fighter. But what about Rome's greatest rivals? The Punic Wars against Carthage are legendary. In the Second Punic War, the Battle of Cannae was Rome's darkest day. The Roman consuls fielded an enormous army, perhaps the largest Rome had ever assembled up to that point. Historians estimate around 80,000 to 86,000 Roman and allied soldiers marched to face Hannibal. They outnumbered the Carthaginian forces almost 2 to 1, yet, through brilliant tactics, Hannibal encircled and annihilated the larger Roman force. The losses were catastrophic, with some sources claiming up to 70,000 Romans fell in a single day. This battle shows that sheer numbers weren't always enough. However, Rome's true strength was its resilience. Despite such a devastating loss, Rome raised new legions and continued the fight, eventually defeating Hannibal and destroying Carthage. Their manpower pool seemed almost bottomless. Moving into the imperial era, the total size of the Roman army was staggering. Under the Emperor Augustus, the army was professionalized and became a standing force. At its peak in the early 2nd century AD, under emperors like Trajan and Hadrian, the Roman army consisted of about 28 to 33 legions. If you do the math, that's around 150,000 legions. Now, add an equal number, or even more, of auxiliaries. We're looking at a total military force of somewhere between 375,000 to 450,000 men. This massive army was stationed all across the empire, from Hadrian's Wall in Britain to the Euphrates River on the border with the Parthian Empire. They weren't just fighting wars. They were peacekeepers, police, engineers, and builders, constructing the roads, bridges, and aqueducts that held the empire together. Let's look at another epic confrontation. The Battle of the Teutoburg Forest. This was a brutal ambush, where 3 entire Roman legions, the 17th, the Asiochat, and 19th, were wiped out by Germanic tribes, led by That's nearly 20,000 legionaries and their auxiliaries lost in a few days. The psychological impact on Rome was immense. Emperor Augustus was said to have banged his head against a wall, crying, "Quinctilis veris, give me back my legions." These 3 legion numbers were never used again, a permanent scar on the Roman military psyche. This disaster highlights the dangers that lurked on the frontiers and the constant need for vigilance, even for the mightiest army in the world. So, what did it mean to be a soldier fighting for Roman glory? It meant a 25-year commitment. It meant brutal training, long marches carrying over 60 pounds of gear and the constant threat of a violent death. But it also offered a steady pay, a plot of land, or a cash bonus upon retirement, and for none, the ultimate prize. Roman citizenship for themselves and their descendants. This was a powerful incentive that helped fill the ranks for centuries. They weren't just fighting for an emperor or a general. They were fighting for a stake in the Roman world, for a chance at a better life, and for the honor of their ego standard. Now let's consider the civil wars. These were often the largest and bloodiest conflicts, where Roman fought Roman. The war between Caesar and Pompey culminated at the Battle of Pharsalus. Ultimately, the story of the Roman soldier is a story of scale, sacrifice, and incredible organization. From a few thousand men defending a small city-state on the Tiber, the Roman army grew into a 500,000-strong imperial force that policed a third of the world's population. They won glorious victories like Alesia and Zama, and they suffered crushing defeats like Cannae and Teutoburg Forest. But through it all, the legions marched on, a relentless engine of conquest and control. The sheer number of soldiers who fought and died for the glory of Rome is almost impossible to comprehend. But their legacy is etched into the very foundations of Western civilization. Thanks for joining our march through history today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Roman war machine, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more epic stories from the ancient world. Let us know in the comments which iconic Roman battle you'd like us to cover next. Until then, stay curious.